Quick, the hottest sector in the S&P in the past month. There you go. You got it wrong. Come on, no one knew. Real estate, look at that, crushing it. My next guest, though, says there are plenty of potential black swans in this space. Joining me now, Bell Point Chief Strategist David Nelson. David, I mean, it's sort of like, whoa, the coast is clear. Okay, office will give you that. You know, work from home maybe still a so-so, but, you know, it feels like these other areas are doing pretty good.
If you're looking for a black swan, it probably lurks somewhere in the real estate market. Distressed debt buyers, I've been talking to them recently. They're chomping on the bit. They're ready to pounce. Over the next few years, you've got more than $1 trillion just in multifamily alone, loans that are going to roll over. These were loans made when interest rates were zero.
Right.
These companies are going to be very challenged. The business model,
is that what they call the maturity wall?
The maturity wall. A lot of these companies, construction, a lot of small real estate outfits, their business models are upside down. And when this rolls over, somebody's going to take over this debt. Unfortunately, a lot of small banks, a lot of small institutions are in this. And maybe in part, maybe this is what Jay Powell is seeing, and he's suddenly turned into this massive dove. It was the most dovish press conference I've seen.
I remember in 2009, the next shoe, the reason not to get into market, even though it had been slaughtered, right, in March of 2009 as we were making a bottom, was the next shoe was going to be commercial real estate. Even if it does start to crumble to the degree you're saying, does it have that much outsized influence that we should abandon ship everywhere else?
No. No, and you never know what the dominoes will look like, and who knows what's under the rug there. It's just something to concern yourself with. I think in large part what we learned from Jay Powell is what the market already knew. The market figured it out about 6 weeks ago. He's only confirming the rally that's already existed.
So then because a big question I'm trying to ask all the guests, whether or not the tail wagged the dog, whether or not, because the narrative going into Wednesday was that Powell would try to get the market's mind right, you know, like the old scene from Cool Hand Luke, like, you know, some men you just can't reach, you know, and I don't want to have to hike rates on you. I'm going to give you this last chance to come to our way of thinking. But he went to Wall Street's way of thinking, and some think maybe that was the tail wagging the dog.
In some ways, I think that's probably a good call. It was a little surprising. He pretty much said what we've all been talking about on this show, that the Fed has done. He said rates have peaked, and if that's true, and if rates have peaked, then this roll down away from quality down into smaller caps it kind of makes sense.
All right. So, and you've got a couple of small cap names that you want to share.
I'll give you a name, and I want to preface it that this is a small company. It is a dangerous company. It is my smallest position.
Before you say it, what makes it dangerous?
It's just very small, undercovered name. It's not even here in the United States.
Okay.
It's in Oslo, Norway. All right. It's a web browser company called Opera, OPRA. It has artificial intelligence capability built into it. I can't go into all the details of what they do, but this company was just covered by Goldman early this week. It's starting to get institutional coverage.
What's the other one?
The other one, if you're going to be in small caps, you got to do it through a fund. Most people should not be in small caps. There's very little coverage. It's not like buying Apple or Microsoft. Utilize Advantis AVUV. This is small cap value. It's quant-driven fund. I've used the product. It's excellent.
You know, I always say it's so funny because I always say that the ideal dream is that you live next door to someone with a small cap company. You know, you go over at dinner or whatever, and you learn about the company, right? That's like, you know, if you get lucky, because to your point,
if you have the wherewithal and you're going to do that homework, then by all means you can do it. But most will not do it.
I love this, though, the idea of getting a fund. Opera, we'll keep an eye on it.
Okay.
Have a great weekend, man.
You too.
Appreciate it.